welcome to Finding Fallen Heroes. I thought I'd start this channel because I see some other channels on YouTube which I enjoy watching, Unusual Things with Paul, and like Scott on Tape and Hollywood Graveyards, which you learn about the stars from old and you get to see their final resting place. The people's heroes, people idolised it. But mine are going to be more about the real heroes, the heroes what allowed us to have our todays and to have our tomorrows. These are the heroes what have fallen for their country and for their empire. Yeah, I wanted to do history at school, but I was a bit of a rogue, so history classes were really full. A lot of people didn't, so they give me geography. Yeah, not what I wanted. Didn't learn about fluffy clouds, how steep a hill was. So now's my chance now to do my history, to do my history lessons and to share my history lessons. The reason I wanted to do this channel was because I wanted to make sure that the kids don't forget. The kids, they don't read books as much, if they read books now, apart from when they're at school. So it is now about, they're on the screen. So best way to teach them now is on the screen. Finding Fallen Heroes. It won't be just about the Battle of Britain pilots. I've got a load of other individuals which I've seen on my lists when I've visited on my research. Some really interesting stories coming up. Some stories I didn't even realise that actually existed. So please bear with me. I'm just I'm going through what I can and getting to where I can get to. So yep. So it's not just the RAF. It will be of all serving forces. My research, my research, I sort of go through books, the internet, asking people. I got a hold of Dave Bonklehurst from the Battle of Britain Museum down at Hawkridge, and he said to me, he said the most important thing is you must do your own research. So while I was doing my own research for the first one that we're going to be doing, I read one book, and in some of the notes, it had the pilot dying of a totally different way, a Hollywood style, which is absolutely no way different to actually, no way the same as he was and how it happened. So making money on lies is just not worth it. So, you know, yes, research. Yeah, I have a list. I've got a list of people who I want to go and visit. I've got lists of places that I need to visit. I've got a select couple of places that I really want to visit, and when I do them, they'll be specials. So basically, I'm just going to, go down my list. The list isn't about me. The whole thing is about our fallen heroes. So, if you enjoy the video, please like, share, even leave your comments, even if you've got other information regarding the person that I'm dealing with at the time. Please feel free, click on the notification bell so when my new videos come out. So click, share and subscribe. Thank you and enjoy episode 1. Cecil Henry Hight, NZ 41924. Born 6th of September 1917 to Herbert and Emma Hight of East Road, Stratford, in Tarnska, New Zealand. He was educated in his teens at Stratford Technical High School in New Zealand. As a youngster, he would help his father on his milk run, and when he left school, became a salesman. Hight started learning to fly with Stratford Aero Club, obtaining his A licence at the Western Federation Aero Club in August 1937. In 1938, Hight worked his way and arrived in England to join the RAF. At first, Hight failed to meet the education requirement, so he took a cramming course in mathematics, then reapplied and was provisionally accepted for a short service commission. Hight's training began the 6th of January 1939. Subsequently, was made acting pilot officer on probation on the 15th of April 1939. He then went and completed training before becoming pilot officer on probation on the 6th of November 1939. Hight joined Squadron 234 at RAF Leckensfield in Yorkshire, nicknamed the Madras Presidency, the Dragons. Also, the squadron of two long surviving members of the View, Bob Doe and Keith Lawrence. 234 at the time were equipped with Blenheims. Then in March in 1940, 234 were equipped with Spitfires with the code of AZ, flying out of Middle Wallop in Hampshire. Pilot Officer Hight was flying Spitfire R6988. On the 15th of August, with a couple of sorties already flown, 234 Squadron was scrambled late afternoon to apprehend a large formation of nearly 300 Luftwaffe bombers over Portland. Hight was right in the thick of it. It was not quite clear what happened to Pilot Officer Hight during the battle, but his Spitfire took a hit. Hight's Spitfire was only going one way. Below, Pilot Officer Hight coming in quickly to the seaside town of Bournemouth. Hight must have been conscious of this and battled to steer his Spitfire away from the populated area and headed to a local park. This being done, then ejected himself from the plane. An eyewitness report, Pilot Officer Cecil didn't manage to open his parachute in time. Reports say he may well have blacked out. Pilot Officer Hight's body was then discovered in the garden of Hambledon in Laverne Avenue, Boscombe, the home of Mr. and Mrs. Alfred Edith Hall, while the Spitfire crashed further along the same avenue at the corner of Walsford Road. There is actually a monument there to mark the area, placed on the 15th of August 2015. Canon Hedley Burrows, who also conducted the service for Pilot Officer Hight's funeral, the Vicar of St. Peter's, arrived and said a prayer for the dead pilot. The owners of Hambledon, Alfred and Edith, created a garden of remembrance on the spot where Hight landed. Along with the wreaths at his funeral was a bunch of flowers from the garden where he fell. In 2010, Bournemouth Council named a road in West Howe Pilot Hight Road. New street signs were then installed with an image of a Spitfire. Hight's funeral took place at Christchurch, Hampshire, on the 19th of August. The coffin was draped with the New Zealand flag, which was in fact presented by Christchurch in New Zealand. Several pilots from the 234 Squadron attended his funeral, leading the cortege. At the end of the funeral, there were 3 volleys were fired, followed by a salute. The funeral was broadcasted live to New Zealand and heard by Hight's mother. He is now buried at the Bournemouth Crematorium. Pilot Officer Cecil Henry Hight was only 22 when he died.